Hello everyone, so today we are going to be drawing a Spinosaurus. Harvey, all the way from Australia, has been following on and drawing some of my tutorials, and he would really like to learn how to draw a Spinosaurus. So for Harvey today, we are going to try and draw his favourite dino. Now, a Spinosaurus is not something I've ever drawn before, and I can be honest, Harvey, when I had a look at them, they look pretty tricky. I'm not surprised you're not really sure how to go about this. So what we're going to do is try and break it down into some simple, easy steps. Now the first thing that we're going to do is draw an oval. Now a Spinosaurus stands on two legs, so he has two big hind legs and he has two little arms at the front. So I'm going to draw my oval sort of in the middle here. I don't want to draw it too big because I want to have enough space for a tail on one side and for a neck on the other. So I'm going to have mine tilted slightly up, but you could have yours flat in the middle, any way you like, any angle you like, but just roughly in the middle of your page, a nice oval like an egg. Now on the end of this, we're going to add a tail coming out, so it kind of curls around, down from your oval, up again and around. Now when you get to the end of your tail, you've got to go back again, otherwise this is way too thin, right? But you want to go back from a point, so you're going to take your pencil off the page, off the paper when you get to the end of the tail, put it back on again, because if we just keep going round, he'll just have a big round fat sausage tail. You must have a point at the end, and we're going to go back up, and following this line along, but leaving a space in between, we're going to follow, and then make it get a bit wider when it joins up with the oval. So that's the back of his tail. Now up here at the top we need to have his head, so he's got a neck coming up, curving around into his head. Now I'm not entirely sure that I'm getting the proportions quite right here, but this is the underneath of his jaw, and that's a bit too thin. We don't want his neck to look too thin because he is a dinosaur after all, not a giraffe. Come down and then make that oval a little bit fatter there. So we've got the general shape of his head. I'm just going to make his neck a little bit fatter there. We've got his head, his body and his tail, all three parts. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is turn this into a big set of jaws. So we're going to go back in and make sort of a V shape. He's got his jaws open like this, look. And we're going to add lots of really sharp teeth on the bottom and on the top. Okay, now the thing that makes the Spinosaurus so unique is his beautiful big spines that fan out from his back. So what we're going to do now is create this lovely sort of frilly fan. It's going to start from the base of his neck, go up really high, come down all the way into like the top of his tail. Okay, now I think we might continue having a few spikes along his tail maybe. And then also we're going to give him another one on his head. Now some of the pictures I've seen of Spinosauruses have a really big frill on his head and others not so much. So I'm not really sure which is the most accurate thing to do, but you can choose either way, whichever you think looks best. I'm going to go with a little sort of fan on his head like this, and then I'm going to divide that up into some little kind of spikes. Almost looks a bit like punk rocker type hair. Now this giant big fan here, we want to divide this up, so we're going to make sort of little bumpy shapes all the way along it. Look, little bumps, like you're doing little hills, or like you're doing the letter M, but very wide. Maybe we should do these ones a bit more rounded too, so they look like they're continuing on from his spine actually. And then everywhere where your little bump comes down to a point, we are going to go all the way down to his back. So around to a point, all the way down to his back. So find anywhere where those points go in, and we're going to go down all the way to his back. This creates that nice fan that we know a Spinosaurus has. All the way down, being careful to get fairly straight lines. Okay. Now he needs some feet. So we have two larger feet at the bottom. So what you can do is do another sort of little oval shape here if you like. They're going to go that way first and then go back on themselves. So we're going to have a line coming out, slight curve for his thigh. He's got a big thigh muscle. Actually, do you know what? I think I've done mine down a little bit too low. I think a bit higher up would be better. So let's move it a bit higher up his body. So we've got his thigh muscle here. Then he's got his little knees. And then his foot comes down into a leg. And then down again. And then he's got a couple of big pointy claws right there. Oh dear, my doggy's being a bit naughty. Manny, what's wrong? What's the matter with you? Okay, now the back of his thigh goes up in a curve as well and then kind of joins in with his tail here. So the tail is probably just tucked behind slightly. We've got his thigh coming out there. It goes down and then he's got his little ankle bone. So you need to remember this is kind of a 1, 2, 3 part zigzag almost going down, and then you've got his little claws at the bottom. You can take a little while to work on this. It's not the easiest shape to draw. Now you need to also add him a little leg from behind. So he's going to have the same thing from behind. You can see a bit of his thigh. Then it's going to go down into his little ankle. And then he's got this long flat part that goes into his claws. Okay. Now I'm going to just go up and fix this face here. I want to make this jaw come in slightly here so we can see where the jaw ends and where the neck begins. Alright, so we need his 2 front arms now, because right now he's just got these 2 back legs and he looks like he's missing something. Now they're a bit like a chicken the way they walk around. Look, they've just got these 2 little legs where they're strutting around, but they do have these arms at the front. So let's have sort of this ovalish shape here again. You just draw in the left side of it and the right side of it, and then it comes down into a little sort of elbow, and then we have a flat part, and then more claws. I'm going to give him sort of 3 little fingers here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we can maybe see the other hand coming through from the back. I wonder if we could make him be holding something. Huh? Mind you, he'd probably be holding another smaller dinosaur. Okay, so he's got his 2 hands at the front, 2 big feet at the back, his long tail. You could make that even longer if you like. I'm going to make mine even longer. Look, it's a bit more dramatic if it's even longer. It's a good idea to work in pencil first if you're not that sure about something, because then if you make a mistake, it's easy to fix. And don't work too hard with your pencil, nice and lightly. So if you make a mistake, you can just rub it out straight away. Now, as I said, I've not really drawn one of these before, so that's why I'm working in pencil this time, just so I don't mess it up. Now, where I've done his arms going over the body, I'm just going to erase the line of the body from the middle, because his arm would be covering that. And this is his tummy underneath. Now I'm going to outline the whole thing in colour, what am I saying? I'm going to outline the whole thing in black, and then we're going to add some colour. Oh, what did I miss? Look, I missed something very important, didn't I? I missed his eyes. So I'm going to make sort of a arch for his eye, and then the eye is just going to sit inside it here. So he's got a little arch, and then his eye. Okay, so now I'm going to outline the whole thing in black, and then I'm going to start to add some colour. So I'm just using a black permanent marker to outline everywhere where I have already drawn in pencil. This is a good idea to use a permanent marker if you are planning on adding any kind of wet colour to your dinosaur, as I am going to be with my watercolour crayons, so that the black won't melt. So as you can see, I've extended his little fingernails a bit longer and his toenails, added some little lines to give a bit of sense of muscle, and now I'm adding the colour. So I'm only using red, green and blue because I just want to show you what will happen when we mix those colours. And I'm just picking random places to add sort of dinosaurish patterns, but I really don't know what a Spinosaurus would have looked like in real life in terms of his coloration and his patterns, so I'm just guessing. And you can do whatever you like. You might decide that he might be spotty or have patches of colour, and you can see how these aquarelle crayons really melt nicely into each other. I'm just adding one colour at a time, the red, and then going back and doing the yellow, and then going over the joins where the two colours meet to make them blend into each other. If you just brush over the whole thing at once with water, it would all just become one shade of brown. So I'm just being careful to do one sort of area at a time only. So you can see it's achieved some sort of orangey colours, some purplish where the blue and the red mixes, and some green where the yellow and the blue has mixed. So I hope you like it. I think he looks pretty cool. Here is the super snazzy Spinosaurus. Now he is finished. And if you head on over to Facebook, you can like my page Carly Art, which is a great way for you to send me your artworks if you'd like them featured.